Hi guys, welcome back to Throwback Thursday, and I am your lovely host Amarachi. So today we're going to be talking about chalkboards and chalk talk, basically taking you back to the 90s and the 2000s when we're still going to school. I can't imagine people who say now that, oh, I left school like 60 years ago, I left school like 50 years ago. I mean, I'm not really sure it's up to 10 years since I left secondary school, but remembering how it has been, how it was, the sound of assembly, them asking you to line up in one straight line, they are checking your nails, or they are bringing up people to use as example on the assembly ground, inter-house sports, all those end of year parties that you're looking forward to, whatever programs your school used to do, being on the balcony, just going from one class to another class, being in lunchrooms with your friends, having science people gist, all of that. I don't think the university definitely wasn't like that. University was a do you thing, but now I'm going to be settling on primary, secondary school, and I'm going to take us back there because it was such a beautiful time. I can't even lie. Now that children are saying, oh, they can't wait to be adults, they can't wait to be grown up, they can't wait to be this and that. Enjoy it while it lasts, because you will get to my stage now and stages after my stage, and then you miss what it was like to be in school. So come along with me while I talk about this, whether you were the class clown or the teacher's pet or the troublesome one or the backbencher, the one that was always front of class. There's something for each and every one of us to reminisce about.
Morning assembly ritual. I mean, from morning bell when they ring the bell, that they ring the bell and everybody's running downstairs. In the matter they say, oh, file in a single line at all. You have those ones that are in class that would hardly even want to come out of the class. They are taking their time, walking downstairs, strolling. The big boys, the ones that are just coming in late for assembly, and then they are being punished. Talking about this is even taking me back to being in secondary school. It was such a time that we did not even think to embrace because we couldn't wait to leave secondary school. And now that I think about it, it was like, where was I even running to and what was I even running from? It should have been a time that I should have enjoyed. Now, down the line, we have people that, like I said earlier, people that haven't been to, last time they were in school like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when they left secondary school, primary school, and they would never know what it was again. So at the end of this, like, why were we even rushing? Was rushing necessary? We could have enjoyed it. The National Assembly, I say National Assembly, National Anthem, the National Pledge. When sometimes the other thing we used to do in my set then, because you know how the country is now, we'll now be singing National Anthem and National Pledge in a different way. I've even forgotten how it's said. But later along the line, I heard, oh, it wasn't right to do things like that. You wait for your principal to address you, and then they would now end the class. And we used to sing songs like We Are HAPP while walking back to your class, just imagine. But I think that was more for primary school, because in secondary school we started just playing band for us to walk to our class. Band, by band I mean drum, definitely. In this part of the world, we know what that is. We had iconic school uniform. Like every school had, different uniforms, definitely. But then we had the schools that, oh, we liked how they were really dressing. Because for my school, it was just carton color. And it was crazy because every time we talk about it, my principal will say, oh, that's the smartest color in the world, blah, 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 blah. These are the colors you find in libraries. I still didn't get it, but you had to make it work. You see, when senior boys and girls are ironing their skirts, ironing their shirts, you're seeing the gaiters. Like, it's very clean, very crisp. Their socks are clean. Like, you can't even, there's no doubt that no, I can't even explain it. You see how the socks will be cleaned, sandals are being polished, the uniform is tidy, your hair is well made. These were the things. And you had the rough ones now, the rough boys that would play ball, they are dirty. My school used to do this thing whereby they wear I am dirty shirts, and then they're washing their clothes in the assembly. God, it was such a time. I feel like secondary school was a completely different life on its own. The battle of ironing is crazy, because then when they bring that, my brother and I will be running for the iron. Oh, no, I'm going to iron first. Now I'm going to iron. My brother will take his time. My brother will come from school and he's washing in the washing machine. He's always doing a load. He's always, every single day, as long as there's light, he's doing a load with his uniform. I remember times whereby we used to do towel drying. This was in boarding house, because I was in boarding house for a while. We used to do something called towel drying. Maybe you wash your uniform early that morning because you were too tired or you forgot, and you wash your uniform, your socks and your underwears. You now put it inside towels, and then one person hold one end, and you start to squeeze it. Before you know it, you now start to iron dry, just so that, I mean, nobody's going to know. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Nobody's going to know. Oh, it was such a beautiful time. School bags and accessories. We had girls that wanted to be people that knew who they were from very little age. They wanted to be girly girls. Everything is tidied about them. Their hairs are perfectly made, and then they're now carrying cute school bags. They had up to date accessories. They had things that other people were not even envious of. Like, oh, how did you even get that? How you see that? Where my parents shopping from? Because how do you have this and I don't? Next is classroom dynamics and teachers. Now, classroom dynamics is another thing to even be talked about because I can't really remember things that happened in primary school to be very honest, but secondary school we had segments in the classroom. We had the big boys that always sat down at the back. We had the very smart girls in front. We had the girls who were smart and then who also knew how to goof, sitting down in one side and gossip a lot. And we had the ones who were like, should I say, the locals, basically, always speaking their language, being all rowdy. But then we also had the females of those male version, all of that. And it will bring so much life to the class, considering the diversity of everybody and what everybody was bringing to the table. We had the smart ones that, their teachers' pets, the teachers loved them. Oh, you write names of noisemakers was such a thing. Writing names of noisemakers, oh, you do this, or you bring my notes to my class. And when they now say, oh, there's free period, especially when it's now math as a free period, subjects like math, all those ones that you don't even like the lecturers or the teachers rather. And we had times during exam whereby you have people that are not even letting you copy their listening. And then you know how when I left school and I got into uni, I started saying things like, oh, those girls that used to say that no, nobody should copy their work, nobody should do this, nobody should do that, they'll be hiding their book, they're writing names of noisemakers, they are first to submit assignments. I hope you are doing this now. I hope you are doing, because at the end of the day, when you get into university, you realize that all those things didn't really matter. So why did we think they mattered so much? Like, I really don't get it. And then we had different types of teachers. We had teachers that were unnecessarily just being strict for nothing. I remember one teacher that I had, she did teach me literature at a point, and nobody liked her. Like, we were constantly trying to frustrate this woman because nobody liked her vibe. Her class was boring. I mean, literature is such a subject that, as someone who is in love with books, I still read books unprovoked. I would pick up a book and read it, buy it. I stay up till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. reading a book. That is to show how crazy in love I am with books. And then this woman's class was just killing the vibe. So we had teachers who were like friends to us, teachers who would see on our way to class and were greeting. Sometimes I go back to my secondary school maybe to pick up my brother from school because my last born is in the school now, to pick him up, to drop him off. And then I'm just so in awe because like a lot of things have changed. And every time they see me, they're like, you're done with this, you're done with that. Oh, you're working now. I see this girl. When did you even graduate? When did you even leave here? I mean, it's going to be 10 years very soon. What do you mean, when did I leave here? You think in our bins? You think in our bins? And we had all these people playing classroom pranks. We had people that will play classroom pranks, passing of notes. When they say, oh, don't eat food in class, and then you see that, oh, we just come back from break, we're now eating from under the desk so that they will not catch us. When they now catch you, they will now punish you. The punishment system to my school was very known for flogging. Like, they used to spank a lot. Any small thing, they started to flog. Any small thing, you make small noise, kneel down, they are punishing, they are beating. I think that was the only part I didn't even really like about secondary school. Then we had lunchtime. For me, lunchtime, there wasn't really anything like what's in now. There wasn't anything like a cafeteria, because in primary school we used to have that in my school. There was a cafeteria, but from primary school to secondary school, this one you just go downstairs, buy your food, come back. If you brought food from your house, you stay upstairs and you eat it. So lunchtime, you see people that, oh, they don't sit down together, or you have couples that are in two different classes. You now see them hanging around downstairs near the food vendors, or by one class side, or by the staircase. Yeah, somebody's son is turning somebody's daughter's head. All those high school romance, high school sweethearts. So you don't know where people are now. But yeah, we had things like that then. People that would just go strictly to buy food. Because my school, there was nothing like leaving the school gates to go outside and buy food. No, you buy food from inside the premises. And it was so beautiful because you see us standing downstairs. Sometimes when I tell my kid brother that, oh, this is how I used to buy my food, then he's like, oh, how do you even mix this and this? What's that? But as at then, these meals were good. Eh? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? How do I mix this and this? And then school snacks were another thing. For primary school, you have your parents pack your snacks for you. They are putting Capri. So when you get to school, you really want to know, oh, what they put in my bag today. Junior secondary school, I think they were still doing that for me. And after a while, they started giving me cash. So by the time I get to school, and I'm like, oh yes, Omo Babalo, you have the money, go and spend it. You see people always buying things like a Sarah, Coke, Gala, Puff Puff. There were these things, these drinks that were like telephone inside all those what's it called? It's just inside what kind of rubber something shall I use your teeth and cut and then if it's okay block. I see people say if you drank this thing at a certain age, don't talk to me because I am not your mate in any way. I am really not your mate. Because now they don't sell it anywhere anymore. They don't sell it. So if you had no idea what it was, why you being disrespectful? And for those of you that drank it with me, where's your wedding? Where's your wedding ring? Then we had trading and sharing. Sometimes when people trade snacks, when you bring something to school, you don't like it, you share with your friend, you give to your friend rather than collect what your friend has, or you sell it. Sometimes you're sharing with your friends just cause I mean it was I think it was in secondary school. I don't even know when I started sharing fakes with my friends. And before then, I would have said no, God forbid, never. But in secondary school, I could just be eating and somebody just comes and takes my spoon and then they're eating my food from my plate. That's not even the problem. It's my cutlery that's in your mouth that's the problem. Why? Why? But like now that I'm grown, in as much as it was fun then, I don't also think there's something because a lot of people don't participate or they don't partake in dental hygiene and excuse you, don't bring that here. We had extracurricular activities. This was inter-house sports, match pass, having clubs and societies. Although the sad part is that some schools didn't have that. Didn't have all these extracurricular activities. If I'm talking of from a personal perspective, my school didn't have that. I had friends that pulled out of school simply because they lacked extracurricular activities like when you're going for debates with other schools, competitions, spelling bee. Was my school was just centered on students learning, and then it was bad because like there are other ways to learn. And for those who had it, I'm sure that you must have missed it going for spelling bees because I changed schools a lot. In junior secondary school, the school that I was attending then, we used to participate in debates. Oh, education is better than what's it even called? Education is better than something, something, something. Or more now, when people come out, they're like, oh, education is no better, or mothers are better than fathers, doctors are better than this. At the end of the day, who all those ones help? Like really, now when you what you study in university is not what you come outside to do. But then it was such a thing. See people really fighting for their cause. Oh yeah, this is this. Oh no, education is this. This one is that. Please, if we should do and come out first, all of you that are in there, do and come out first. Then we had clubs. We had Jet Club, Press Club, Debating Society, Drama Club. My school used to do this thing called Students Week, whereby that week is for the students. We're having Ankara Day, things like that. And you have a day whereby people are presenting, whether singing, comedy, jokes. And it was such a time because, like, you wear mufti to school, you're happy, you can't wait to come to school and show your friends your phone. That's when you're even allowed to bring phone to school. You can't wait to come to school and show your friends your phone, let them see things that all those type of things. And then your parents now give you more money to buy more things because it's an activity period, or when it's like open day and then your parents come and then there's like a place whereby they're displaying books for your parents to come and buy and like, oh please buy me this book, buy me this book. I feel like they still do that to now because I have been in different schools at different times whereby I've seen, oh yeah, they still put the whole spread for buying of books. Now, the one that I feel like nobody really liked, or except for very serious people, is the end of term exams and report cards. Writing exams, even reading was such a chore. My dad used to wake us up and say, oh, you must be reading by this time. Your mates, how many heads do they have? So obviously, you don't want to even feel. By the time you're reading, you go to school, write exam. When it's not your turn to write exam, instead of you to be reading your book, you'll be playing, hanging around your friends that have exams. When it's now your turn, everybody will be ready for their own paper because now they are free. But it's like something is wrong with your head because why do you know? Ah, God, we were such children. But like when it's now time for a report card to come out, sometimes if you know you have not done well, your chest will just be you just be panicking because if I see my report card now, how is it going to be? When you now eventually see your report card and it is nothing to write home about, that is when you will fall sick, when your head is not working again, when you cannot stand up from the bed, when they've not given you this paper, when they've not given you that paper. At the end of the day, all those things don't matter no more. We can't remember those days. Or when they will tell you to bring your parents to school for parent teachers meeting, they have these meetings today. You not be praying that your teacher should not go and cover you, or because they've already said, oh, they've warned you to do this when your parents come for PTA, PTM, PTF, whatever they used to call it, that we're going to tell them. I feel like some children were really happy that their parents didn't have time to attend things like that, and some really wanted their parents to attend because other people's parents were present, whichever it was for you. I feel like for me, it was a bit of both because my mom always made time to try and attend, and then sometimes she didn't. And I feel like after a while, I just didn't even want them to attend anymore because the more you grow, the more you're like, nah, please don't do that. Don't be all up in my space. But all these I won't say all these millennials, how far you people should really come and talk to us more about schooling in your time, because in their time there was, my mom was always talking about slates. Is this slate board whereby it's like chalkboard and then you clean it with duster. You use chalk to write and you use duster to clean it after. And it's so crazy because, like, what do you mean you're using chalk to write? How are you going to remember anything that is in that you wrote at school today? So after one teacher comes and he or she is done teaching and you're done, you will now take duster and clean the entire slates. So tomorrow, what are you going to, when you I never really did get it, or that they were studying and their schools were in uncompleted building, there was no window, they were in the village, they were under one mango tree. It's like, huh? I know, yes, now things have evolved and they're still evolving because my school used to do this thing whereby they hardly even wrote on the board, except maybe the teacher is solving math questions or all these people that are science students, physics. But majority of the time it was just like TV. So teachers have already typed the notes on their systems and then they come to school and then they're just changing the slide. And I know a lot of other schools are doing things like this because it's faster and then technology is helping. You get what I mean? But like for them, wow, I feel like I should have a millennial and do this again. Would you guys like to see that? Let me know in the comment section. If you would like me to have a millennial come here, sit down and talk about his or her own experience when it was like attending school. Because what do you mean? You wrote exams under the mango tree? Make it make sense. Anyways, in conclusion, this has been such a wonderful walk down memory lane because as I'm even talking about it, going back, it's like all the emotions coming back to me again. Every single thing I might have felt at one point or the other, the drama, the unnecessary beef with you and your female friends or your male friends, or how school sometimes might have been so toxic simply because people did not have their bearings and they were jealous and they were envious, or they had insecurities. I had insecurities as well too. Let me know if, don't get me wrong. But like sometimes unnecessary drama will just come. Oh, this, and then most of the time I feel like we're always fighting about, oh, this person took my boyfriend. This person took. I don't think boys used to do things like that. Even till today, things like that have even changed as outside schooling. But yeah, despite attending different schools, as secondary school, primary school, now going to go and meet into university. When we all come back to sit down and talk about this or remember this, the experience are always almost so similar. And it's so beautiful because when you want to, get married or you hang out with people that you just meet outside secondary school, outside university, and you sit down and this person says the person can relate, even if they're not so similar, like one plus one, but like they can be added up one way or the other. And it's such a beautiful, thing to behold. Like I said, if you want, me to have a guest on the show, do well to let me know because I would also want to understand how the millennials went about in their own time. What do you mean? This when I think about that slate board thing, my mind is still blown. Like, so you finish writing and you clean it off just like that, and you're expected to write exam. The failing rate would have been a lot.
Wow, school life was amazing indeed. The triumph, celebrating one thing or the other, having I feel like then we had more genuine friendships that we do have now. Being able to decide, oh, what do I want to do in my life? We've still not decided as of now, but then it started from there. Oh, I can't wait to get into school. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And it was just so beautiful. I mean, nobody really sends you in university. There are a lot more activities, sure. But in secondary school, it was wholesome. It was wholesome. You had people that you had to report to. You had people that were always checking up on you, open day, parents. Imaginary tears. But it was beautiful, and I'm glad that you stayed up until now to watch it. So with that being said, that is going to be all for this week, and I have something sweet and delicious for you on the next one. Do not miss it. If you're new here, hi, welcome to the show, and I'm the face you're going to be seeing on Throwback Thursdays at the Eagle Online, with the Eagle Online, anyone. And if you're old here, why haven't you subscribed? You've not subscribed, you've not shared, you've not liked, you've not commented. You're not a fan. You're not also, not even a fan. You're not a good person. Because what do you mean? What do you actually mean? That's going to be all for now. I don't need to tell you to go and like and subscribe again, because what do you think I was doing all that drama for? Bye for now. See you in the next show.